It's starting to look like a poker game with the highest possible stakes in Washington at the moment. The US government only has a few days to negotiate a higher debt limit to avoid a damaging default. And the Democrats and Republicans are digging themselves further into their trenches as the political skirmishes continue. For more on the crisis, let's go to North America correspondent Craig McMurtry, who's in Washington. So, Craig, tensions are running high. It looks like the Republicans are starting to panic.
Yes, Ros, confusion, frustration, perhaps even a sense of panic. John Boehner, the Speaker, the Republican Speaker, wanted to push through his plan, $2.5 trillion in cuts over 10 years. He wanted that in order to get approval to lift the debt ceiling. He's been trying to bring hardline Conservatives on side. Tonight, a vote was expected about 4 hours ago. It hasn't happened. He's locked away, trying to bring those Conservative hardliners over to his side, but it really is turning into a struggle for control of the Republican Party between the establishment Republicans represented by John Boehner and the hardliners. Earlier today he called a press conference. He didn't hide the fact that there was some dissension in the ranks, but he was certainly sounding confident.
The bill's not perfect. I've never said it was perfect. Nobody in my caucus believes it's perfect. But what this bill reflects is a sincere, honest effort to end this crisis in a bipartisan way, to send it to the Senate where it can receive action.
Now, President Barack Obama has been keeping a low profile. He hasn't said much in public since his national address at the start of the week.
No, it's in stark contrast with what happened the previous week, where he was calling congressional leaders to the White House to try and hammer out a grand plan, a compromise. He hasn't been heard of. Now, in a sense, that's because these procedural votes were expected to clear the air for another round of negotiations for a compromise, because the weird thing about this is even if John Boehner gets this vote up tonight, which remains to be seen, he's putting his leadership on the line effectively over this, it's dead on arrival in the Senate. The Democrats have said that they will not support it because they don't like the part of it that says there would be another debt ceiling vote next year in the lead up to the 2012 election. Harry Reid was emphatic in a press conference earlier today, saying Democrats would not support it.
It will be defeated. They know that. The American people now should understand that clearly. No Democrat will vote for a short-term Band-Aid approach that would put our economy at risk and put the nation back in the untenable situation that we are in today, just a few short months from now.
So, Craig, the deadline is August the 2nd, and it looks like it's going to come down to the wire.
It certainly does. With each passing hour, the unthinkable becomes a bit more thinkable, that they might not get a deal before this August 2 deadline. Now, the other factor in all of this is John Boehner has been the principal negotiator for the Republicans with the president. If he is weakened, if they can't get this vote up and he is weakened, it's hard to see how they hammer out any sort of a compromise. Treasury is said to be working on a plan B, operating or keeping the government operating if there isn't a deal to lift the debt ceiling by August 2. But given the uncertainty tonight, it will be very interesting to see how the US markets react when they open in the morning.
All right, Craig, thank you.